Well, it's that time of the week for me, and that means cleaning out the fridge, which means I automatically think about making a delicious pot of vegetable soup. It's the perfect time to use up those vegetables that might be a little bit on their last legs. You know the ones I'm talking about. The great thing about vegetable soup is that you can change up the vegetables to really whatever you want, which means each time you make it, there's a slightly different flavor combination. I love vegetable soup because of all of the veggies and because of all the nutrients that stay right in the broth, making it a wonderfully healthy and incredibly flavorful pot of yumminess. And if you want to make it even heartier, add things like chickpeas, cannellini beans, potatoes, or pasta. You get the idea. Whatever you have available, throw in, to a point. I know you're gonna love the results. And by the way, if you wanna make this completely vegan, swap out the chicken broth for vegetable broth, or even just water. So let's get started and see what veggies are on tap.
Okay, we're ready to go. So I scoped out my fridge and here's what I came up with. I'm gonna start with a stock pot, and I've got my olive oil in there, and it's warming up. And then I'm going to put in the carrots, the celery, the onions, and the garlic. So I'm just going to bring this up to a shimmer, because that's what we always do, wait for it to shimmer. Okay, so I'm going to add in our trinity here. Give it a stir, just get it into that olive oil, get it going. And next we're going to add in the garlic. And the salt and pepper. Okay, so we've got that on medium right now. And we're just going to let those get happy and translucent. So that'll take about 10 minutes. So we'll come back in about 10. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes and we're back. I've stirred it a few times in between just to make sure all the vegetables get cooked evenly. So next up, next round of vegetables. So what I have found in my fridge is green beans, fennel, and zucchini. So we're going to put that in. I hope this pot's big enough. All right, in. And then next, I've got a can of whole tomatoes here. So what I did was I put my hand in there and scrunched them all up to break it up. If you don't want to do that, you can just use some scissors, but there's just something really gratifying about sticking your hand in. Just makes your hands clean, that's all. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get every ounce of goodness out of there. Good. And next up, the spices. So we have some oregano and some thyme. And it goes. Give it a good stir. It's already smelling really good. So we're going to let this go again for about 10 minutes. I'm going to cover it this time and then kind of stir it a couple of times in those 10 minutes. So we're going to cover it. We'll come back in 10. Okay, it's been another 10 minutes and look at how lovely this is coming along. So we're about to add the liquid. We have 6 cups of chicken broth. And again, you can substitute it for veggie broth or just water. So we're going to do this without spilling it, hopefully. Okay, that's that. And then 2 cups of water. Okay, so liquid's in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cover it, bring it to a boil. We're going to turn it up
Bring it to a boil and bring it right back down to a simmer and let it go for about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and add the last component in. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Now let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's just been cooking away and getting very flavorful. Okay, the last component is the spinach. We're gonna throw that in. Give it a toss. The reason why we're putting in the spinach at the very end of cooking, it only takes about 5 minutes, 10 minutes for it to cook. So that's why we put it in at the very last. So if you're putting any leafy green in, anything like a kale or a Swiss chard, that's when you put it in. We're gonna let that go another 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat. Okay, we're ready to roll. The last thing we're gonna do is check it for salt. We want to make sure that it's salted enough, because now's the time to add if we need to. So I'm just going to take a little bit. Actually, perfect. We don't have to do anything else. Turn it off. Give it one more stir. Then we're going to plate it. Get Richard in here. Again, give it a try. So.
Even if you don't like vegetables, you're going to like this.
Who
Your
doesn't
kids will
like
like
vegetables?
it. I think a lot of people. Too many people. Anyway, what a great way to clean out the fridge. Look at it. If you have this with a fresh baguette, have it with a sandwich, it is an amazing meal. So healthy. And you know what? This soup, you could eat it all night and you'll lose weight. It's that good. You won't be able to stop. That's why it's so important. This is really amazing.
That's why there's very few calories in this, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of oil, and really it's all just vegetables.
It's amazing.